Hi, I'm Tim Dowd. We're here at New York Comic Con. I'm here with J.D. Matonti, creator and director of New Gen. J.D., can you tell us a little bit about the project?
Absolutely. Well, New Gen is a sci-fi action film, and it's a story about twin brothers discovering their identity set in different worlds. It's an epic journey of superheroes. It's a story about two families that are divided, and the backdrop is a utopian world called New Gen, as well as New York, as well as an underworld. So it's a fun film. We're gearing up for the live action film right now. The comic series is out called New Gen New Dawn, and that's a series that dates back to ancient Egypt with the Gabriel character, who's a kind of a pompous character as a youth. So we're very excited to get moving into the film in the new year.
All right, now so how did the project start? Was it started as an idea for a film and the comic book kind of came out of that, or vice versa, or how did this?
That's a good question. It started as sketches that I drew. I drew these two teenage kids that looked very similar, and it was like 2003. And the notebook paper lined up, and one was on this side and one was on that, and I said, wouldn't it be fun to follow teenage twins? They came out looking so much alike, they look like twins. I said, what if we followed that and we used a theme of nanotechnology for their powers? So it came from hundreds of sketches, and then the writing process came later, a little bit later, and then we kind of found the tone and the themes and all that within the comic series. And the graphic novel is for sale here at Comic-Con for the first time. Mark Hamill did a forward in the graphic novel. I introduced it, and it's the prequel to the film. So it's the first 6 issues in the New Gen graphic novel.
All right, great. Now, this is clearly a very big undertaking, not a story that doesn't exist in our world, but rather a newly created universe. Is this your first experience in creating something so elaborate of an intellectual property, or have you experienced working on that stuff in the past?
We have really, I've done feature films, live action film, and we've done several of those. The universe is very big, it's epic, and you're absolutely right about that, okay? But the fact that it centers on two families, it's very emotional. Yeah. It's the theme of balance of these twins that are ultimately have to work together to bring balance to worlds in chaos. So it's a very small, emotional story where you have two families. But the universe is epic because it does take place in different worlds. So I think that's fun. Bring an audience to a place they haven't seen before.
Now, earlier you mentioned Mark Hamill does the forward for the book, and I believe he has involvement in the movie as well. How did you bring him into the fold?
Well, Mark is first of all, he's a very, very talented artist. I've always admired his work. I respect him immensely. What happened was I met him and I said, we're working on this thing called New Gen, and I said, because he's at a place in his life where he has this wisdom, and I said, what if what if we did something where you were a character that teenagers and kids could look up to? So what I'll say is, in the film, we're not saying what role it is. I think we want to leave that a mystery for when they see the movie. He is working as a creative consultant, which is in the entire franchise, because we're imagining it as live action film saga, hopefully TV series, video games, toys, merchandising, and online games and all sorts of things. So
live action TV series or an animated TV series, or
hopefully both. I wrote a pilot for a live action TV series, so that would probably be first. But the next thing is the feature film, which I think we'll shoot by the first 4 months of the new year. By May, I want to be in production of the movie.
All right, and so if you hit your goal of starting by May, I know this is a big projection kind of thing. Do you have an idea of when the movie will be coming out, or at least
2013? I think the thing with this film is that there's 800 visual effects shots, so that takes a tremendous amount of time in post. There's about 60 days of production, but the post production is what's going to take a long time. There's a lot of CGI in the film.
Trust me, I'm pretty sure our producers are very aware of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you have that. The graphic novel is out. Do you have any other follow-up comic books that will come out before the movie, or is this going to be it?
Absolutely. The New Gen, New Dawn, the second, third, fourth, fifth issue of that series will be coming out. That explores what Gabriel was like when he was actually called Gabrium in ancient Egypt, and the arrogant alchemist. That's going to all come out, and then there's a series on Carmen, who's a major role in the film, and she, and this is called Awakening, and we're going to do we are in production of a series on that character as well, and that gets into what her experience is like in that New Gen world, because she's a product of that world. Her father, Daedalus, has been banished to an underworld. So imagine knowing that. He's the one that released the nanobots injected into the children, and that's how they grow up with the nanopowers. So she's carrying that weight on her, and I want to explore that story as well. And then what I really want to do is do almost spin-offs of each of the characters. I love what Marvel did with their universe. We're going to do it a little differently, but I like the fact that you can emotionally get involved with a character or a couple of them and see where it goes. So that's what we're going to do.
Great. Now, I was at your booth earlier, and we were looking at some of your promotional artwork and your cards and stuff like that, and I read the first issue of New Dawn, and so I see Egyptian alchemists spending elements and all this kind of things, and I see certain characters, different things. I saw Daedalus and all these cards, and then I see a very interesting character called Robo-Duck. I have to ask about Robo-Duck. Okay. What is Robo-Duck?
Robo-Duck is a military machine, and he looks very, people could laugh at him. It's like he stands out on his own. He's the comic relief for New Gen in a way, because he's a wisecracking little fella. He's a robot. He's very emotionally. He's a little rebellious, but in a military mode, he's a machine. He has this plasma cannon that he shoots at him. He can fly, so he's this little military. So it's a character that can fight in battle, but then it's a character that can make people laugh. So I think it's an interesting little character,
All right, great. So if anyone's interested, where can they get the New Gen, A New Dawn graphic novel?
New Gen, New Dawn is just in stores nationwide right now, and the New Gen graphic novel we're going to sell online for the first 6 issues. And New Gen, New Dawn, we're probably almost out of those already, because this Comic-Con, we went through them. We went through thousands of them. Maybe we'll try to do something online also, where we'll release the issue online. We'll see. I don't know exactly what we're going to do yet, but we'll get it to the audience.
All right, and we got the movie coming out kind of in the future, but is there any way that anywhere that a website people can follow you on who are interested in the movie and can follow it till it comes out?
Yes, absolutely. They can go on to newgenuniverse.com.
All right.
Yes.
Great. Thank you very much.
Okay.
I am Tim Dowd. This is JD
Matonti,
and we are on The Take.